Hey folks, welcome back to CoderX Ankit, and from this video we are going to learn Spring Security 6.x version with Spring Boot 3.x. Okay, without wasting our time, let's start this course. Before following the further contents, let me tell you how you should follow this course. So while explaining the lectures, like while me explaining the lectures or you watching the tutorials, please do not code parallelly. If I am coding something, don't code parallelly. The first rule, make this a rule, don't code parallelly. Second thing, don't take any kind of notes. I will give you the notes from the description, you can take that. Okay, and after watching the complete tutorial, you can do whatever you want, like you can revise from the notes, you can take notes, you can code. But in between, please make sure that you are not coding parallelly or you are not writing anything. You just have to sit, relax. Okay, and you just need to watch the tutorial and listen to what I am saying. That's it. Let's do not waste our time and start our Spring Security. So see, first I'll talk about what are the prerequisites that is required to start this course. Okay, so prerequisites to follow this course. Prerequisites to follow this course. What is required here is, first you should know the Java, right? Java programming you should know. So what version I will be using in this course? I will be using 21 version. You can go with 70 version or 21 version, anyone, or having the knowledge of Java 8, Java 8 plus, any version is fine. Any version is fine. I mean upper the Java 8 version, 8 or 8 version. Okay, or Java 8, any version is fine. Okay. B, you should know the Spring framework. Without Spring framework basics, you should not follow this course. So you should know what is the meaning of Spring framework. Okay, what is the meaning of application context. Okay, what do you mean by IOC container, what are Spring builds, how dependency injection happens. Okay, what do you mean by setter injection, constructor injection, auto wiring. So these Spring basics must be required, and Spring Boot basics. Okay, or I can say Spring Boot to some certain extent is required here. Like you should know how Spring Boot works. What do you mean by that? At the rate Spring Boot application annotation. Okay, what is runner class, what is a starter, fine, dependencies. These some very important topics that is required to follow this course. If you are missing any of these, please first complete that and then come to the course and follow it. Okay, so without wasting the time, let's start our journey. So I'll be starting from what is Spring Security. Okay, and don't be in hurry, just keep patience, you will get to know too much of things. Okay, now if I speak about what is Spring Security, see, when you talk about security in software security for any project, for any application, then security happens at different levels or different layers. Okay, so Spring Security secures your application at application level. I will explain what is the meaning of this application level security. First look at here. So Spring Security is an independent framework, or you can say, or module, that is a part of Spring framework. I'm not saying that Spring documentation itself saying that. See here, Spring Security is a framework that provides authentication, authorization, too much of things here, whatever, fine. Now let's come to the main important thing here is Spring Security is used to secure your applications at application level security. Application level, fine. When you talk about security in software security, that doesn't mean that Spring Security is gonna give you security related to all the issues, related to all the things in your software. Now what is the meaning of application level? Fine, that's important. because Spring security is going to secure your application at application level only. That's the meaning here. So when you talk about Spring, or when you talk about security in software security, there are different layers or levels of security. Here application level means now I'm going to explain what is the meaning of application level here. So application level simply means, suppose you have house, right? Now you want to secure your house. You along with your family wanna travel somewhere, and you want to secure your home, secure your house. So what do? You generally lock up the doors, you generally lock up the windows, and make sure that all the doors, windows, and all the entry gates, everything is closed, everything is locked, so that no one can enter the house, and no one can without authority, no one can like access to your house. That's the whole game here, right? Now suppose here application level means, in your application there are bunch of things, there are bunch of activities, and there are bunch of data, right? In application, what is there? Basically some kind of activities that a user is going to perform, okay, and some data that user is going to access. That's the whole work of, and the core working of your application, core need of your application, right? Your application will have some activities and some data that your user needs to access, or some activities to perform. That's thing. Now we lock our applications, or we secure our application in such a way that no any guest user or anyone can use. That's the same, that's the whole thing. We do not expose all our activities or all our data of our application to be used by anyone. We will secure our application in such a way that an authenticated user can only access to our application to perform some particular activities or to access some required data. That's the whole meaning here. Okay, so I'm going to write, suppose you are going to travel along with your family. Okay, so what do you do? So here you will lock all the doors and windows, okay, for security of your house, right? And extra you can add more things like CCTV cameras, okay, some door alarms, okay, and etc. These kind of things, you know. So here in application we have some activities and data to be performed or accessed by the user respectively, right? So our requirement here is that we do not want everyone to use the services of our application, or not anyone, any random, है ना, not anyone randomly, not anyone, no, not everyone, right? Everyone is the right word. Not everyone randomly can access access some data or perform some activities. That's why we need security in application. You need security in application. Fine. So to secure our application, to secure our application in such way that explained above, fine, to secure our application in such way, okay, that explained above, what we need to do and what we do, that's it. So we do not expose any random data to every user of the application, or we do not let them perform any random activity in our application. In our application. That's it. Now how we can do? So we can only, है ना, here the need becomes what now? Only authenticated user can access some data and can perform, okay, some activities in our application. This can be achieved by this security, okay, this security configuration. These security configurations can be achieved by Spring Security, and this is the whole meaning of, or you can say this is the meaning of Spring Security. I'm not talking about the every layer of security here, because Spring Security is not there to provide security for all the issues and all the required purposes. But here you can lock some activities, you can lock some data. Lock means secure, I'm just saying, okay? So you can secure some data, you can secure some activities that are going to be performed only by the authenticated user. So this is the meaning of application level security. Or very important thing, note, Spring Security is not going to, okay, Spring Security gives only application level security. You cannot expect all the levels of security from this framework. Okay, I have more important note point. Fine, one this thing. Second one is ki, okay, you can say there are bunch of things like some like TLS, HTTPS configurations, some secure or good and a good or secure code practices, okay, secured servers and etc goes into picture while it comes to comes to securing your application. That's the main important point. Okay, and spring security does not secure what? A, data at rest. Data at rest means some data that is kept somewhere in persistent store. Okay, suppose I have some order table. Okay, order table that is having order data of any restaurant, and I have kept it in one database software. So Spring Security is not going to secure that database level data, right? So there you need to apply some another kind of things. Fine. 1b, data at flight. Data at flight means some data which is transmitting over the network. Okay, again there are different kinds of configurations goes into picture while comes to securing your data at rest or data or flight. So Spring Security can be implemented very easily with Spring Boot applications or Spring Framework based applications. Okay, this is very easy to implement. Okay, your Spring Security in Spring Boot level applications, I mean Spring Boot based applications or Spring Framework based applications. Fine. Where it is difficult or where it is cannot applied, this is the more important point here. Fine. Spring Security can also be implemented with JEE, Java Enterprise Edition, right? JEE applications, okay, and non-Spring framework based JEE application, Java Enterprise Edition based application there also, but it will require lots of configuration and it is tough to implement Spring Security there, but still it can be implemented, but it will be very tough, right? So Spring Security blends very well with Spring Boot based application and Spring Framework based application. Now those applications, okay, Spring Security cannot be implemented with, this is the very important point, Spring Security cannot be implemented with those applications which are not JVM based, Java virtual machine. After all, it is Spring framework based and Spring is there for Java, right? That's why. So Spring security cannot be implemented with those applications which are not, okay, I'm saying which are not JVM based applications. Fine. JVM based means they are using JVM for execution, you can say. So Spring security cannot be implemented with those applications which are not JVM based application. That's the thing. Fine. So this is the important point about Spring security. So what is Spring security? So Spring security is an independent framework or module, you can say, that is a part of Spring security itself. Spring security is used to secure your application at application level only. I told you what is the meaning of application level, right? So that's the thing. Fine. So like suppose I'm re-explaining it, okay, in short, crisp summary. Fine. So Spring security is going to secure your application at application level. Now what is the meaning of application level? I explained. Very easy. Suppose you want to go to travel, or you want to go in restaurant along with your family for dinner. Fine. Now you will close all the doors, you will lock up all the doors, you will close all the windows. I mean, the very simple is all, you will close all the paths that are open to access your house, your home, right? Very simple. So that no one can enter and perform some activities or do XYZ things in your house. That's your goal, right? And you will do things. What will you do? So you will lock all the doors, you will close all the doors, you will close all the windows, okay, and you will set some alarms if you are going for a longer period of time outside of your house, right? You can set alarms, you can set CCTV cameras, some motion sensor based alarms, right? It means now in context of any application or project that you are building. So in your project, in your application, there are bunch of activities that you are concerned about, that this particular activity can be performed only by some authenticated users, not by random everyone or anyone. Fine. So this is the meaning of application security. You will secure some services, some parts of your application, so that no one randomly can access it, or some data that no one can access it, or some activities that no one easily can perform it, okay, without getting authenticated. No any authorized person can do this. So those securing those services, securing those activities, securing those tasks, or securing those data, okay, this is the meaning of application level security or application layer security. What we do in Spring security, so we will configure those, okay, those services in such a way that our Spring security takes care of the security. That's the thing. Now here to secure all explained. Fine. Note, Spring security is giving you only application level security. Now, so there are bunch of things goes into security, like TLS configuration, HTTPS configuration, okay, good secure code practices, okay, and you have to work with the secured server, secure database, these things. Spring security does not secure your data at rest. Okay, some data is kept somewhere in any persistent store, then there Spring security is not going to help in that case. Spring security will not secure your data at flight. Flight means, flight, right? So transmission over the like network, if some data is getting transmitted, Spring security is not going to, like suppose I am chatting on call with my friend, so Spring security is not there to secure my call. This is not the work of Spring security in general. That's it. It is very easy to implement Spring security with Spring Boot applications and Spring framework based application, and also Spring security can be implemented with non-Spring framework based JE application, but it will require it's very tough. So fine, Spring security cannot be implemented with those applications which are not JVM based. That's it. So thank you so much for watching this video till the end. I'll meet you in the next video. Thank you.